Hobby, do you recognize those documents I said in front of you?
Yeah, I think these are the e-hop postings.
Okay, and can you bring our attention, or I'd like to bring your attention.
Objection, Your Honor, improper use of evidence.
Response.
If you would give me a couple seconds, I'm about to let her read her own post from the printouts of the posting that is in question today in court.
Your Honor, the defense has not entered in the evidence, which means that we cannot use the evidence in here.
I don't have any grounds to enter it into evidence yet. She just identified it.
Your Honor,
But you're about to have her read from it, correct?
I'm about to have her identify where she posted, and then I will admit it into evidence so that she has some connection to the piece of evidence.
I'm going to allow her a little leeway to see what happens. If what she says doesn't happen, feel free to read your objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Overruled at this time.
Ms. Hobby, can you please point and show the jury where your post is on those papers?
on what page?
It is on exhibit 2-3.
So just point at it?
Yeah, and show the jury. Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, at this time, I would like to enter that exhibit 2-3, as well as 1, 2-2, 2-1, and 2-4 into evidence.
Any objections?
Yes, Your Honor, I object to the lack of proper improper entrance of evidence.
Well, which are you objecting to?
Improper entrance of evidence.
How?
She did not lay the foundation to show that this evidence should be entered.
Response.
The foundation is that, well, that's the foundation for our entire case, so if that isn't relevant or that doesn't have foundation, then why are we in court today? That is the post in question. That is a series of posts following that.
Your Honor, she hasn't showed that the witness is the custodian of that document.
Response.
She just pointed and recognized where she herself posted.
I am going to sustain the objection unless you have additional reasoning why this needs to be admitted.
This needs to be admitted to show that she never once told anybody in HOPCO that the information was false, and she knew it.
That's not covering the foundational issue for me, so I am going to sustain the objection at this time. Exhibit 1 and 2 are not admitted at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. Ms. Hobby, on April 8th, 2013, after learning that your friend Campbell Coquit had Cialis, what did you do?
Well, I presumed to clean all the offices, but I think it was the 5th. I'm not very sure.
It was, okay, so you cleaned all of the offices.
Yeah.
Does that include Campbell or Casey Hogg's office?
Yeah, that's everybody's office. Yes.
So is it your testimony today that on April 5th you went into Casey Hogg's office without his permission and cleaned his property?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
If she went into Casey Hogg's office without his permission, then she could have seen a list of passwords, therefore entered on his computer.
Your Honor, this is not relevant to why we're here today, which is the question today is whether or not Casey Hogg posted the posting.
I'm going to overrule the objection and give counsel a little leeway here and see where it goes. Overrule.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. So you went into Casey Hogg's office without his permission and cleaned his property, is that correct?
Well, I'm a nut, so like as soon as I found out that it was a germy place, I just had to clean it. I was just trying to make everybody safe.
Do you make a habit of going into your coworkers' offices without their permission?
No, not really.
Okay, can you tell the jury how many offices are between your office and Casey Hogg's office?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Your Honor, I withdraw the question.
Sustain.
Hobby, you were also up for the promotion that we talked about today, weren't you?
Yes, as well as Jester.
Okay, and you were also passed over for the promotion, weren't you?
I don't understand the question.
Did you get the promotion?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. Your Honor, permission to approach the witness.
Yes, you may.
Ms. Hobby, do you recognize those documents that are in front of you now?
Yes, they're the,
They're the reviews? Okay, and whose signatures are on those?
Objection, Your Honor, improper use of evidence.
I think she's laying foundation. I don't think that we're testifying anything from the overrule.
Casey Hogg, Campbell, Crowfoot, and Sterling Hobby.
And that's your own signature?
Yeah.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to admit 5-2, 5-1, and 5-3 into evidence.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of proper foundation. Although she has proven that Sterling Hobby signed one of those reviews, she has not proven that Sterling Hobby is the owner of the other two reviews.
Your Honor, the only reason I need the other two reviews into evidence is so that she can testify that she had less of an annual score than both of the other two people competing for the promotion.
Again, Your Honor, she still has not shown that Sterling Hobby is the custodian of these documents, only the one with Sterling Hobby's signature.
I will allow the document that has this witness's signature to be entered into evidence. The other two documents I will not allow into evidence. So Ms. Hobby is only allowed to testify regarding exhibit 4,
5-1.
exhibit 5-1, which is her evaluation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Exhibit 5-1 is admitted. Exhibits 5-2 and 5-3 are not admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I approach the witness and withdraw the other document?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hobby, could you please tell the jury your final score on that annual review?
It says here that I got a 26.
Out of what?
Um,
How many possible points could you achieve?
it doesn't.
Okay, let's look at your personnel management score. What was that?
It says I got a 6.
Out of,
10.
I believe it's 10. Okay, thank you. So is it safe to say that you were not qualified for this position?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of personal knowledge. This witness is not involved in the hiring process, which means she would not know what is necessary or qualified for a manager.
She is very much involved in the hiring process, seeing as she's the one that's trying to get hired. And she met with her supervisor and reviewed this. That's why it's called an annual review, so she does have knowledge.
I'm going to overrule. If the witness doesn't have knowledge, she can state it. Overrule. The witness is allowed to answer.
Okay, so is it safe to say that you were not qualified for this job position?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
She has every right to answer this question. It's just verifying that she was not qualified. The proof is in the numbers, which she just testified to.
Your Honor,
I am going to overrule that objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, one more time. Ms. Hobby, is it safe to say that you were not qualified for this job position?
Well, I think I'm qualified. I've been working there for 8 years.
Okay, Okay, but in your supervisor's opinion, you obviously had less of an application between the two other people, Casey and Campbell.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of personal knowledge. She doesn't know how Campbell or Casey reviewed.
If she didn't get the job, then she obviously scored lower than them.
What was your objection?
Lack of personal knowledge.
Overrule that objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. One more time, Ms. Hobby. So it's safe to say that you scored, or you were less qualified than Campbell, Colquitt, and Casey Hobby for this job position.
Well, I don't know. I only knew about my annual review.
Yes or no, please?
I don't know.
Okay. Is it also safe to assume that even if Campbell was not in the running, you would not have gotten the position?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Is it safe to say if Campbell Colquitt had not been running, you would not have gotten it? What's your response?
I'll question withdrawal. So you had two people ahead of you in line for this position the day of the post, isn't that correct?
Well, I think we all applied for the same way.
But, so there was just two people ahead of you in the running for this position, yes or no?
3 people applied, yes.
But two people ahead of you, yes or no?
I wouldn't know how to know that.
If there was 3 people running and you're one of them, is there 2 ahead of you?
Well,
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
She hasn't answered my question, which is why I keep asking it.
I think she said that she wouldn't know if they were ahead of her, so I'm going to sustain the objection.
Thank you, Your Honor. Seeing as there was 2 people ahead of you, did you come up with any plan to get around these 2 people to get the promotion?
Objection, Your Honor, argumentative.
Objection, Your question withdrawn. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
All right, any redirect?